Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. I really don't know if I've ever experienced anything quite like this ever in my lifetime, but I do know that you guys are the greatest fans of all time. You guys have forever felt passionate about your favorite characters and their stories, and you guys have represented yourselves and their stories so phenomenally through the years. And it's been my honor to have been a part of that. All I ever wanted was to be a part of something special. I had no idea if I would ever go down in history for being remembered as one of the greatest YouTube content creators of all time at the expense of Descendants and Zombies. But it happened for me because you guys believed in me. And because you guys believed in me, you took this YouTube channel and you turned it into something special. You made it a global phenomenon where thousands of people saw something special in it likewise. And every single day, every single time somebody has watched one of my videos at least once, somebody has subscribed. There are people who create Descendants and Zombies videos for you guys every night, and they never get any subscribers. I don't know why nobody subscribes to their YouTube channels, but nobody ever does. Everybody subscribes here. This is everybody's favorite Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel, and I have never felt more honored to be a part of something so special, so spectacular, so miraculous, because of how this story's been told. I don't know if it has anything to do with how I've been so appreciative of storytelling and the characters that have been a part of these stories and really became a part of my life. Because I remember the first time that Alice in Wonderland's story became a part of my life. I was probably 5 years old when I heard the story of Alice in Wonderland for the first time ever in my life. And I thought the characters were so beautiful. There are so many characters in the Alice in Wonderland book series that haven't even seen their premiere in the Descendants franchise. One of them happens to be Alice. And I've always believed that Alice is a really beautiful character who deserves more appreciation and certainly more recognition through the years. You know, the Alice in Wonderland story is almost 100 years old. It dates back over almost a century, and it's such a beautiful story, but how can you tell that story without Alice? I've been waiting on a wish for forever to see Alice in Wonderland premiere in the Descendants franchise, and I think it could happen. Because I think she could offer a lot of value, a lot of sentimental value, and a lot of appreciation would be seen from fans. I think a lot of people would appreciate that. I was also a huge fan of the Cinderella story, and this year we are celebrating 75 years of Cinderella. As hard as that may be to believe for a lot of people, we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of such a revered tale. It's a classic, so why not honor it? Why not celebrate it through the eyes of Clarke and Malia Baker, who are two of the most beautiful actresses of all time? You know, I've been watching a lot of these teaser reactions for Descendants 5 Wicked Wonderland's latest teaser. The teaser only runs for about 30 seconds. I know I've seen and I've heard it all. But the one thing that I've noticed about these reactions is that nobody happens to mention just how beautiful these characters are and takes the time to really appreciate how beautiful they are and what they offer to us. They're offering us a beautiful story, and this movie could be far better than the original because I think it's going to be a successor that is going to surpass everybody's expectations. All you have to do is really allow it the time it needs. Because when you allow it the time that it needs, it's going to be something far more magical than we ever imagined possible, and we could be setting ourselves up for Descendants 6. I've never wanted to take that hope away from everybody who believed that we could see Descendants 6 and get to that point, because when you have people like Liamani Segura and Keanu Romero, who are so close to Kylie heart as friends, some of her best friends happen to be Keanu Romero and Liamani Segura from their work on High School Musical, the musical, the series, and beyond. So I think what we could be setting up here for is even more of a future to look into about Descendants of Zombies. We just don't have to close the door or any book on Descendants of Zombies because the Alice in Wonderland book series has a total of 4 books seen in it. And I remember when the book first premiered, it was back in the 1800s, a couple of days before Christmas. It just happened to make it to bookshelves just in time. And do you know how many people bought that book? Thousands of people lined the streets to buy that book. I never ever forgot reading about it many years later. I read the Alice in Wonderland story for the first time when I was 5 years old, and I was left at a loss for words, and I couldn't believe the story and the way that it was told. I just wanted the opportunity to tell my own story and my own version of it. And you know, my mom was a school teacher for many years. She taught for over 30 years. And every day she taught a classroom full of grade 4 and grade 5 students, and she would always beat into their heads that Disney princesses were who you had to really inspire yourself to become, because Disney princesses were some of the most beautiful people of all time. It had nothing to do with their image. It had everything to do with what they believed in. And I think that, I think a lot of people think that Disney princesses are far from perfect. I know. They've seen their fair share of criticism through the years. But it has never had anything to do with their image. It has everything to do with what they believe in, how passionate they are for life, and how they care about everybody around them. The people they surround themselves with, Prince Philip and Prince Eric, and of course Prince Philip and how he sacrificed everything to free Sleeping Beauty from her slumber, and how Ariel wanted to explore the human life, and Eric made it possible for her. I know because I was a part of it, and I know that it's very uncharacteristic to hear a guy talking about Disney princesses and their stories through the years like I have. But it has everything to do with all. Well, I've always and forever had a greater appreciation for fairy tales and their stories and the way they've been told. If there was one guy in folk literature class that read every tale, it was this guy. And I felt more appreciative of it as I would get to know more about these stories and how they were told. And of course, I've always had a greater appreciation for theater too. If there was one guy in the theater room that could experience play productions and really bring them to life, it was this guy. I was forever sitting in the director's chair because I believe this had to happen, or this should have happened, because I think there's always a greater appreciation to take away from whatever production we are talking about. A couple of years ago, The Lion King celebrated its 5,525th performance from Disney. And that's a lot of performing. That's a lot of performing. That really blows my mind. But I've seen stage productions like Beauty and the Beast come to life. I've seen productions like The Jungle Book come to life. I've seen productions like Wicked come to life. High School Musical, which just recently obtained the license for a lot of schools to put it off, and you guys have had the chance to be a part of it. And I know that my reviews are very different from everybody else who's collaborated review about Descendants of Zombies, but I just had one hope, and that was for every fan of Descendants of Zombies to subscribe here. And because every fan of Descendants of Zombies is forever subscribing here, we are setting records, we're breaking records, we're shattering them, and we're achieving milestones for this YouTube channel. Our latest milestone just happens to be 3,500 subscribers. A milestone that I never thought this YouTube channel would see. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined that this YouTube channel would see 3,500 subscribers. But it never happened because I created Descendants of Zombies videos, and I spoke from my perspective, and I shared with you my story. This had everything to do with how you believed in this crazy guy who claimed that he lived in a haunted house, who seriously thinks that he lives in a haunted house, who would get snowed in during snowstorms and record his thoughts on Descendants of Zombies, because I thought there was no better way to spend a snow day than by sharing my story with you guys about how I was a fan of Descendants of Zombies. And the one hope that I always had was that somebody was going to subscribe here. Because when you put your art out there, it no longer is your art. It becomes the art of every fan of Descendants of Zombies who have seen something special in what Kylie Cantrell and Malia Baker have come together and really offered us. And they've really offered us something special. We've been a part of so many significant times and moments in their life that we got to share in. We had the chance to share our stories with each other about how we became fans of Descendants of Zombies. And things like this YouTube channel brought us that much closer together and certainly made us the best of friends, because the one thing I have felt so honored to experience and to be a part of is the assemblance of all these beautiful friendships that have just happened seemingly from out of nowhere because of Descendants of Zombies. Perhaps today you became a friend with somebody who was a fan of Descendants of Zombies just like you. I know because I've seen it firsthand. I know people who have been friends because of Descendants of Zombies for over at least 15 years. That's a decade and a half. That's a really long time, and that's so incredible. That's nothing short of phenomenal and truly breathtaking for me, and I have never felt more honored to be a part of it. And we've seen some of the most successful franchises of all time go on to achieve so much rarity, like Scream, Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Notebook, Twilight. We've seen up to 6, 7 installments of every successful franchise. So you're wondering if Descendants is going to see what they're referring to as a dramatic conclusion? Oh, it's most certainly not. As long as I've got a heartbeat and I've got a breath left in me, Descendants of Zombies characters will have more of a chance than ever before of going down in history of being some of the greatest of all time. That's what I want to see happen for them. If I don't go down in history for being one of the greatest of all time, somebody's going to have to do it, and it's going to have to be your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, because I will not settle for anything less, because they deserve it. for all the sacrifices they've made, all the emotional experiences they've endured, and what they've been through as Disney girls, which comes with a lot of pressure, and living up to a certain criteria, I know. It surprises me that some of them were able to do it the way they did, but considering the pressure they were under, they got through it. And I think about how they did it. They did it because of each and every one of you, because of how much you believed in them, how much you never quit on them. Because the reason why people like Freya Sky and Kylie Contrell have over 750,000 subscribers on YouTube, it has everything to do with how passionate you guys are about drawing your favorite Descendants characters, listening to their music off YouTube Music and Spotify. It's really incredible. Freya Sky just surpassed her latest milestone of 500,000 subscribers on Spotify. How do you think that ever happened? It's because you guys listen to her music every single night up until 3 o'clock in the morning. Don't tell me, because I know. And I've experienced it, and I'm so proud of Freya because of what you've done for her. And I'm so proud of you guys for being the fans that you are. The Freya Sky community is very difficult to win the hearts of. That's something I've noticed through the years. But when you do win the hearts of every Freya Sky fan, because you just have to create the best videos that they want to watch, they will forever subscribe here because they love Freya with all their heart. And they will love you too unconditionally. That's a proven fact for me. It happened for me, just this explosion. It was just like an explosion of love that I experienced from fans of Descendants and Zombies. People were subscribing here all the time. I think there was 1 week last summer where over 1,000 people subscribed here in just 1 week. In just 1 week, that's 250 subscribers a day here on this YouTube channel. No other Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel has ever experienced that. And no other Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel is ever going to experience that unless their name is Disney. Because the only Descendants and Zombies YouTube channel that has ever been ahead of this one is Disney. Because of your creative minds, of how you feel about Descendants and Zombies. No critic deserves to take that away from you. I've seen some of the most ridiculous reaction videos for this 30-second trailer that just dropped over 48 hours to 72 hours ago. And nobody could even mention how beautiful the characters were. They mentioned their hair, their hairstyle. That's the only thing they mentioned. In a 3-minute video, a 3-minute and 30-second video, all we got from it was that people were excited without ever telling you why, and because they loved their hair. They never mentioned how beautiful they were. I think they're outstanding. I think they have come so far in such a short amount of time, and that deserves to be credited. That deserves to be honored, if anything. And this is one guy with what you see. What you see is what you always get. And I am the most honest guy when it comes to Descendants and Zombies, guys. And if I tell you it's a 5-star production, then you had better believe it's going to be a 5-star production. It's going to offer us so many special moments that we're going to have the chance to be a part of. We're going to cry together. We're going to laugh together like we've done for many years. And we're just going to have to run it back and do it all over again. And I feel so honored to have been a part of that for so many years and to have told this story from my perspective and how I see it. And how I've seen it is a beautiful production. Through and through, this truly is a beautiful production. And I think More of a Chance is deserving of these stars. And when we give them a special chance, they are going to have the chance to really create magic. Like you guys did for me as the host of this show. You gave me the chance to be a part of and to truly experience magic, because if you've ever wanted to believe in magic, the catchphrase of this YouTube channel always has been, if you've ever wanted to believe in magic, well, now is your time to experience it. And I had no idea how I was going to enable you the chance to experience magic, but you guys really put the magic in my life. And you definitely allowed me the chance to be a part of something so special through having the chance to share with you my story about how I was always and forever a Disney fan. I remember how passionate my mom and my grandmother always were about Disney. They're the reason why you see all this beautiful Disney merch behind you, and you're going to see more of it because I have about $200 more worth of stuffies coming in this coming week. I got a Winnie the Pooh lined up and a Sully from Monsters Incorporated lined up to come in here. I buy them online all the time, so you guys are going to see more coming up in the next couple of days. When exactly, I don't know, but they are coming. And I've just really had the time of my life creating these videos for thousands of people that I could only hope that would take something special away from it. Because, guys, no matter what you're going through, you guys have offered so much to this franchise. And if there's people that we should be honoring, it's you guys. You know, we spend all of our life honoring people like Freya and Kylie. But the people that we should be honoring and applauding every single night of our lives are each and every one of you. You know, we can give myself credit, we can give Kylie credit, we can give Freya credit, but you guys are the reason why they are the superstars that they are. You guys are the reason why they're selling out venues. You guys are the reason why they're always on Disney Channel, and they're some of the top names on Disney Channel because you guys watch them for over 6.7 million hours on Disney Plus. In just 3 days, you watched The Rise of Red 6.7 million times. You know, if somebody watched my YouTube channel 6.7 million times, I would be the most popular YouTube creator of all time. And I'm well on my way to achieving that. All I need is like 458 million subscribers to beat Mr. Beast, and who's to say I can't? I got the love and support of every fan of Descendants of Zombies out there. So as long as I got the love and support of Descendants of Zombies out there, then that's all I've ever needed. I don't need the love and support of anybody else because the Descendants of Zombies community is going to put me over the top. You guys have truly allowed me the chance to be a part of something so special. And all I ever wanted you guys to do was believe in Descendants of Zombies and never ever quit on it. Because once you quit on something, that determines the future of it. And that's what Disney was waiting for us to see. Was if you guys were going to support it, you were going to show an undeniable love and support, and you did. You came through. And you gave us the chance to be a part of something so phenomenal and so special. And I will never forget any of you for becoming a part of my life the way that you did. You guys, the reality of life is, you guys could have subscribed to anybody else on YouTube, but you forever and always subscribed here because you saw something special in the way that I told Red's story. You knew that I took Red seriously, and I knew she was going to be something special for the Descendants franchise. Even though she doubted herself, she really was a different character, and she was really something special, wasn't she not? You guys were dancing to the song Red. You loved the color scheme of the character, the plot of the character, how the character was designed, and how Kylie controlled part of her life. And I wanted to give Kylie a chance. I have forever wanted Kylie to be given a chance long before she ever donned the character Red because she deserved it. She was always a fan of Hello Kitty. She was always a fan of music. She was always a fan of writing covers. But I think Kylie doesn't need to write covers. Kylie needs to be focusing on her own music because Kylie writes her own beautiful music. She doesn't necessarily need to focus on writing Taylor Swift covers and performing them and trying to perform and cover all the Taylor Swift songs. As much as I admire Kylie Control's passion for wanting to do so, I think Kylie Control's music is just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than what Taylor Swift has ever written because I've heard one too many Taylor Swift songs. Kylie is just as beautiful as Taylor Swift, if not even more beautiful, and she deserves all the credit in the world. And I may be just saying this because I'm a guy who loves Descendants of Zombies, but I see it for how it is. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who feel the same way. If you have ever felt passionately about something in your life, I think now is the time to feel more passionate about something than perhaps ever before and come along with all of us on this incredible journey because once you become a member of the Descendants of Zombies fandom, you're never going to need anything else in your life to depend on. Perhaps the love and support of your friends and your family may be taken into consideration, but Descendants of Zombies fans have forever and always been there for each other. They've created some of the most beautiful friendships that I've ever had the chance to experience, and I can never seem to give enough credit where credit is due. Your parents sacrificed a great deal this past summer to allow you the chance to be a part of the Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour, which is something I can never seem to say thank you enough for, and I can never seem to say thank you guys enough for having made the Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour such a phenomenal experience for thousands of people out there who just wanted to be a part of something special, to feel as if they were a part of something special, and they had the chance. Because for the first time ever, the Descendants of Zombies Worlds Collide Tour became a global phenomenon. People felt so passionate about the performing and felt so passionate and so honored to have been a part of something so special, myself included. And I just wanted to be that one guy that would come through every single time that I ever push record with something nice to have to say about Descendants and Zombies and how much Descendants and Zombies would go on to mean to each and every one of our hearts, because we all, no matter who we were, we all took something special away from this franchise and the collaboration of it, because ever since this premiere, which happened back on July 31st, 2015, I was 25 at the time, and I remember watching Descendants and I knew it was just going to be something special. It was going to be something that was going to leave us speechless and really breathless sometimes, and it certainly did. It came through in so many ways, more ways than one, and I can never seem to say thank you to every fan of Descendants of Zombies who allowed me the honor and did me the honor of allowing me the chance to have told my story for how I saw it and telling it like it was. Because if there was one thing that I always did on this show was tell you like it was, and I told you how I felt. I told you guys everything because I treated this YouTube channel like a journal. I wanted you to know who I was. I wanted you to know how I felt about these characters and how I believe they deserve better and they deserve more recognition, and I wanted to give you guys the best. I had no idea how I was ever going to do it, how I was ever going to come through, but this YouTube channel is breaking records every single night. People are subscribing here all the time. We're surpassing milestones like you would never believe, and our next milestone now sits at 3,600 subscribers, which you can help us out surpass by hitting the subscribe button and hitting the like button, because every single person who has ever subscribed here has obviously saw something special in every video that has ever been created, that has ever been uploaded here. And I will never be able to tell you guys how appreciative I am of every fan of Descendants of Zombies out there, because you never cease to amaze me nor blow my mind. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. This really has become your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. Thank you so much from my heart to yours, because I speak from my heart to you every single time I ever record a video, because I've had the honor to be a part of something so special, and the one thing that will forever and always remain constant, and the one thing that will forever and always hold a very special place in my heart, so special to me. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. And thank you so much for having watched this video.